everyone, welcome back to Talking History. My name's Liz. Thank you so much for pressing play and joining us today. I hope you're all keeping well. If you love everything and anything to do with history, then please stay tuned because you are in the right place and you have found the right channel. And I do hope you like what you see, and I do hope you like and subscribe to Let's Build this teeny tiny channel to become bigger and bigger so we can reach more history lovers. I have quite a few, maybe a dozen now, videos behind me, so I hope you go back through and watch those. But today's video, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm still talking about that. I'm still in the Anglo Saxon period at the moment, and I'm going to talk about Bishop Dunstan. So stay tuned. Bishop Dunstan, who later on becomes Saint Dunstan, who was Archbishop of Canterbury, he was born in the village of Boltonsborough, I think I pronounced that right, in Somerset, which is just a few miles south of Glastonbury. And Dunstan was possibly born between 909 or 910, even though the Anglo Saxon Chronicles put his date of birth as 925, which would have been a little bit difficult because he entered the court of King Aethelstan in the year of 925 when Aethelstan became king. It's possible that the Chronicles put this date as when he received his holy orders, but even then that's a little bit too early because he didn't receive his holy orders until 943. Dunstan's father was Hirostan, I think I pronounced that right, who was a Wessex nobleman of royal blood, and his family's connections would go on to become a great benefit to Dunstan later in his church career. At this time, Glastonbury was a popular place for Christian pilgrimage, and it was once said that the first place of Christian settlement, Glastonbury was the first place of Christian settlement in Britain. The Abbey of Glastonbury was a centre of learning and housed scholars as far away as Ireland. And Dunstan had been educated at Glastonbury, and from there he went on to join his uncle Ethlam, who was the Archbishop of Canterbury at that time, at the royal court of Aethelstan. There's been different reports about his time at Aethelstan's court. One report stated that Dunstan had been accused of practicing the black arts, and it was when Dunstan sought the refuge with the Bishop of Winchester that he was influenced to become a monk. Another report was that after Dunstan had recovered from a skin disease, which was feared to have been leprosy, this had made Dunstan want to live a life in the church. Which report is true is hard to say. Obviously, we'll never know. But either way, Dunstan was in his 30s when he took the holy orders in 943. Shortly after taking his holy orders, Dunstan returned to Glastonbury, and he built himself a little hut beside the Abbey church where he lived a simple life with manual labour and devotion. Dunstan had showed great skills in metalwork, and he had used his skills to craft bowls and vessels for the church. After King Ethelstan's death in 940, his successor was Edmund, and Edmund had called Dunstan away from his simple life and to go to court to act as a priest. And it was a short time after that Edmund had named Dunstan Abbot of Glastonbury. Once again, Dunstan returned home, but this time he was on a mission. Dunstan had instituted a strict Benedictine rule to have the church buildings rebuilt and enlarged. Glastonbury was established as a leading centre of learning and scholarism. Thanks to Dunstan's efforts to provide a class of educated clerics, it encouraged the growth of monastic settlements throughout Britain. Dunstan had acted as a royal advisor and negotiator for Edmund and his successor, Edward, and had helped establish a period of peace from Danish attacks. In 955, Dunstan found himself being exiled and his property being confiscated by the young king Edwy or Edwig. Dunstan had caught the young king in a compromising position, and he basically ruined the boy's fun with his girlfriend and her mother. So Dunstan fled. He was pursued by the king's men, but Dunstan had found shelter at a monastery in Ghent in Belgium. And Dunstan remained there until he was called out of exile by Edwy's successor and brother Edgar, who would become known as Edgar the Peaceful. And Edgar had shared the same passion as Dunstan for reforming the monasteries. Dunstan soon became Bishop of Worcester, and in 960 he was named Archbishop of Canterbury. Dunstan would continue his work of encouraging scholarship and monastic settlements. And Dunstan had also oversaw every single detail of Edgar's coronation as king. It was said that Dunstan had designed the coronation crown himself. He had also altered the ceremony to put emphasis on the bond between the church and the monarch, making the coronation a sacred act and emulating the ceremony of consecration for priests. Dunstan's coronation ceremony still forms the basis of royal coronations today. After Edgar's death in 975, Dunstan had remained as an advisor to Edgar's son and successor, Edward, who would become known as Edward the Martyr. However, Edward was brutally murdered on the 18th of March in 978, aged only 16. And that was to get his half-brother, Ethelred, who would become known as Ethelred the Unready, on the throne. Dunstan had performed Ethelred's coronation, and then he retired from court life. From there, Dunstan chose to live at Canterbury, where he delightfully taught, and he very rarely troubled himself to get involved in the politics of court life. Dunstan had died on the 19th of May in 988, and he was aged either 86 or 87 years old, which for that time was some achievement. He was buried in his cathedral, and his tomb being a popular place of pilgrimage throughout the Middle Ages. Bishop Dunstan, Saint Dunstan, was the most popular English saint until he was later overshadowed by Thomas Becket. Dunstan had advised and worked alongside 5 Anglo Saxon kings, well, 4, more like 4, because the Edwy had him booted out for ruining his threesome, so that really don't count. But 4 Anglo Saxon kings, and I think he deserved a well-earned mention on this channel, and I really enjoyed researching about Dunstan, and that's what I love doing this channel for, so that lesser known people are getting their stories told. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe, and please do leave some more lovely comments because I loved reading those. And until next time, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.